So this is probably the most anticipated release of 2023, even though the year just started. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sneaker Circle. It is your boy Danny back with another review, and I got super lucky on these. So let's get straight into this release and let's get straight into that unboxing. So I'll admit, this is such a nice change up for me. I usually expect Air Jordan 3s to kind of have the shape they've had in the last couple of years. I always expect them to be either, if it's not an original colorway, it's something that's not really piquing my interest, even though I do like seeing new releases from Jordan brand. I just have so much love for the OGs, and they delivered on this release. Now, in today's video, we are going to review the Air Jordan 3 White Cements. This is the Reimagined line. Now, it's kind of wild that these are going to be labeled Reimagined. I always thought Reimagined is something that was exclusively for like the Air Jordan 1 line. So we got Breads the year before, we got Lost and Founds last year, 2022. And for 2023, we are seeing these, a pair of Air Jordan 3s. And it is rumored that we are going to have another pair of Air Jordan 1s towards the other half of the year. And I'm really wondering, were the Lightning supposed to be reimagined but never really like mentioned that way, or was it just like a regular retro? But forgetting about that for a moment, the Air Jordan 3 White Cements, it's the most classic of classics. I think the last pair of Air Jordan 3s that we got, White Cements at least, was the free throw line. It was the whole gimmick of him jumping from the free throw line to dunk in a pair of these. It had a translucent sole, it had a red line. Beautiful shoes. I wasn't able to get them. And the reason I didn't get those landed me these according to Sneakers. All right, so before I get into release details, let's just go over this box real quick so I can get it off screen. Kind of like the Lost and Founds, we do have a beat up old vintage style box. Unlike the Lost and Founds, it isn't like a replacement lid with it, because the Lost and Founds had that regular Nike Air Jordan 1 box and just a regular Nike orange lid. These come in at $210 for retail. They are releasing March 11th. I'm recording this on like March 6th. These just touched down for me and I was super excited to get them. You got elephant print running throughout the box. Nice little details, nice little details. And they actually throw in one of these, something we've been seeing with the Air Jordan 85 releases, where it kind of has like a breakdown of what the sneaker is. Here we have all the technology. Please, hopefully it isn't too blown out, but screenshot it if you need to see it. Super clean. Like I'm so hyped for this drop, for this release. I'm gonna try to double up. So what we've seen from Air Jordan in these recent 2 years is that they give us an OG, a loved colorway, and then they do something, they put a twist on it. For Breads, they made them into patent leather. We hadn't really seen that before. The way they did it, I mean, they did have that patent leather series in 2001 for mids, but I don't think they ever did a Bread exclusive colorway, that black and red. And unlike those, and unlike the Lost and Founds, those kind of have like a story behind them. These don't necessarily have that. They just have kind of vintage hues. So you do have a slightly aged midsole, slightly aged back tab, and the details, they're so subtle and so nice in person. But the biggest thing is they gave us a new shape or an old shape. I remember in 2013, they tried to give us an 88 shape. I don't think it was well received, but this time they tried to fix the cement print, get closer to that 88 original release, give us a more slender instead of a boxier toe box in shape. And yo, in person, they are beautiful. And I must admit, the leather they used on these is absolutely just divine. So something I learned from Mr. Unloved Ones on Twitter, the Air Jordan 3 was a Tinker Hatfield design. Almost everyone who has been in the game for a while kind of knows that. But the reason tumbled leather was used was originally always said, you know, Jordan really loved Italian leather shoes. And it was one of the things he started incorporated. We saw it with the Air Jordan 2s. We saw it with these when Tinker took over. But apparently tumbled leather breaks in so easily, or is already kind of broken in, that you don't need a lot of play in them for them to perform well, unlike, you know, Air Jordan 1s or to an extent 4s. and Jordan liked to use a new pair every single game. He has a whole thread on it on Twitter. It's super interesting and a nice take on the history of the sneaker. And the tumbled leather on this exact pair is better than I've seen in most Air Jordan 3s in the last recent years. I know last year we got the Fire Reds. I was super excited for those, but it had the boxier shape. That's the sneaker that got me into collecting, so I was really happy to buy them, but I'm still convinced I could get them under retail, so I'm still trying to get them under retail. This is a pair I just would not question. This is a pair that I would buy no matter what. So taking a look at the shoe itself, we do have a cotton liner on the very top. I didn't expect this too much. I'm so, I guess, used to cotton and polyester blends, or just straight up polyester blends. It gives the shoe a really nice feeling. The tongue also has that cotton padding. Looking at the toe box, the cement print on these is really nice, and you kind of see that slender shape that these have. The age details aren't the craziest. Nothing like the Lost and Founds, where like those actually looked aged, distressed, and etc. These just have a yellow tone to them. Nothing crazy. I know a lot of people are complaining about them. A lot of people are complaining that Reimagined is starting to mean vintage or fake vintage, when I just feel like it's a different take on original colorways. Like this year, I don't expect to see a vintage Air Jordan 1. I don't know if it's supposed to be Shadows. I don't know if it's supposed to be Royals, but we'll see something different. Kind of like how patent breads were just all patent, while Lost and Founds were just a pretty decent leather, no coating on them from what I've been seeing people say, but with that history and story behind them. Taking a look at that back, very, very nice. I'm honestly loving it. And one thing I like about these, that the previous iterations, the free throw lines or the 2013 pair, something they did is they actually gave us a Nike sole. If you look at free throw lines, it's a translucent sole. I'm not too sure if it says Nike. I'm pretty sure it still says Jumpman or Jordan, but these, they give us that really nice Nike sole. So getting back into release details, I managed to be selected off of sneakers because I missed the shock drop and because I missed the 2018 free throw lines. My account had that history. I got picked. Super grateful. It was not a hard release. That's not to say when it releases March 11th, I don't think there are going to be as many pairs as intended. That is going to be a hard release. I'm going to be trying for wifey. I'm going to be trying kid sizes. This is one shoe this year that if I can get my hands on pairs, I'm just going to get my hands on pairs. Like, I want a pair to rock and want a pair to stock, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to take these out real quick. This is the only other pair of dead stock Air Jordan 3s I have in my collection right now. These are the Fragment 3s from, I think, 2020. These were never meant to be aged, but they did have that flaw of the back tab. And off the bat, shape isn't looking too different when it comes to the back. It's pretty spot on. Fragments also have that Nike sole, so that's not too off there. They look pretty similar. If anything, the only thing I'm noticing is the White Cement 3s sit a little bit lower than these do, and I'm not too sure why. Getting a look at the toe boxes, let's go this way. The White Cements just look a little bit longer. Both are a 10.5. Both fit pretty. I feel like this one fits like regular Air Jordan 3s, the ones we're kind of accustomed to seeing. And then the toe box on this one's just slightly more elevated, slightly more raised. It could be because this has tissue paper or this has Jordan insert that they throw in there. But I do think the sleekness and the design of this shape is a little more pointed forward versus this one having that wider kind of boxier fit to it that we're so used to these days. And I do feel like this comparison is really good to show that the sneakers themselves aren't pure white. So bringing up as close as I can, you can kind of see how the white cements are a couple shades under the Fragments. The tumbled leather on this is more like, you can kind of see it, but it's like a stiffer, almost plastic feeling. While on this one, it's not as plastic. It has more of that grain texture and feel to it. So I'm actually, man, I love the sneaker. I think they did a great job on these. I guess the only real gripe I can give you is that they didn't give us a metallic little chain with the Nike Air. It's just the plastic. I'm all for less plastic, so I mean, that's something I wish they would have done. But it fits in line with the shoe, the design, and what they're trying to get across of like an older release in 2023, if that makes sense. Lost and Founds, basically, without the hype and without the story. Well, no, the hype's there. The hype's definitely there. So I'm gonna throw these on feet because this is the pair I stock. I do have a pair. Well, I did have a pair I was wearing. Those are gone. I should wear these soon. But I'm gonna throw these on feet. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Hopefully this helps. Again, retail is $210. Release is March 11th. And if you can get them, I hope you do. If not, I hope resell on these kind of crash so you can get your hands on them for a reasonable price. Don't give into the hype. If these brick, don't treat them like bricks. This is definitely a shoe you need in your collection. I'm not gonna say that. I'm big on, you don't need every single release, but this is a pair you're gonna need. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Be easy.